So welcome back to this next piece. This is called positioning. Obviously we went through the video just before where I highlighted exactly what we've been going through. This is the next video in this sequence, and I'm going to go through what positioning actually is. And at the heart of it, positioning is probably one of the most fun things we can do, especially in business architecture. And like I said, there's two types of positioning. There's two elements of positioning. So I'm going to go through those quickly now, and then we're going to break them down in the next few videos. But what I needed to get out here for this one is exactly what it is. And what positioning is, it's all about perception. We need to manage the perception of the person or the market or the group of people or the industry that we're speaking to, because perception creates action, right? So if people hold a perception of who you are, they will take an action based off the perception of who you are. And so the common example that I see with this is, hey, we've got a financial planner. Our financial planner was coming through the program, did this positioning piece, and we literally in a live room, I went around the room and I got everyone to write down what they thought a financial planner actually was. And so everyone wrote down the definition of what a financial planner is, or what their perception of what a financial planner is, and then I got everyone to read it out in front of him. And what they ended up reading out was rather interesting, because none of it really lined up. A lot of it was right. I mean, they weren't wrong, but what they read out wasn't aligned. They weren't saying the same thing. And the most important bit is that what they read out wasn't actually what the financial planner actually did. So he did another area of financial planning, and what they read out wasn't their perception. So they didn't make that thing line up. And so what it actually resulted in for that financial planner was for him to realize that, hey, holy shit, people will stick to what they think they know. What they believe is what they believe, and they'll make judgments and actions, and they'll do all sorts of things based on what they believe and their perception of what it is that you do. So if we can take control of what it is that they are perceiving that you do, we start to create the opening in the doorway for you to be able to put your foot in, so that we can get that first conversation rolling and started really, really quickly, and without wasting the time of getting to a meeting and having people actually wondering what it is that you do. And so positioning, when we go, okay, here you are, here's our gender neutral, politically correct representation of a human being in the form of a stick figure, and here's a market, a bunch of people that you like to serve. You've got your philosophy that's coming through, which is all about, hey, I have a heart, so do you in the market there. This is a big part of what's being communicated here, but let's move through that first really engaging, encapsulating kind of stage of this relationship and get to the point of, hey, let's understand why we should actually have a conversation. And so getting to them to understand why it is that they should have a conversation with you is the art of positioning. And so if we can go, okay, hey, market, this is what I do, then they start to form a perception. And the trouble is that when you say something, people have a meaning of that word that you say, and that will be what they believe that you actually end up doing, which was the case of the financial planner. So what we need to do is go, okay, let's pretend for a second that here is someone, a third party, right? So this is a third party. So someone you worked with, someone you know, someone that knows what you do, someone that's willing to make an introduction. What we need to do is ask a question. And that question is, okay, how do we, so this person likely knows someone in there that they can make an introduction to you. So this is how referrals work. And what we need to do is go, how do we give that person the tools that they need in order to facilitate this introduction clearly, concisely, and without wasting anyone's time. And without just saying, hey, I think you've got to meet this person because he's a financial planner. That's never going to work. That's not inspiring anyone, to be honest. I know plenty of financial planners, and that doesn't really tell me why I should talk to him. And so what has to happen is we need to give this person the tools to be able to say, hey, you've got to meet this person because bang, 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 bang. He's a money magician. He's a finance architect. He builds generous relationships. He does everything in his power to ensure that you not just have any money, but you can actually go out and do things that you like. You've got to meet him. You've got to meet him. I'll set up the meeting now. When are you free? Next week. He's free next week. We'll make this happen. Let's do it. Bang. And so that's the art of positioning. It brings through the certainty in what's needed in order to make that conversation, that next meeting, that introduction, an absolute no-brainer. And so if we can give that person the tools in order to describe into language what it is that you do, then that person can actively go out and use that language, which is going to attract opportunities in the form of a conversation. And that is what we call positioning. So essentially, it's like a game of chess. This third party is positioning you as a piece on a board, and he's actually, or she's actually making this move happen. Now, obviously, this counts on a lot of things. You have to be able to have delivered a result. So this person has to believe that you can do the job. And that generally means that they're going to be someone that's worked with you before and that you've gotten a good result for before. But ultimately, what it has to mean is that we need to give that person that language, those tools, and the education to be able to go out there and perform this positioning properly. And that's the first type of positioning. It's the introductory referral-based positioning. The second type of positioning is, how does your business, so now we're forming an entity. Here's your entity. Here, a bit of a doorway there. Okay, so this is your entity. Now this is your business. Your business also holds a perception in the market. And so the market, the whole market or a whole industry or a whole mass of people are sitting there looking at your business going, they do this, this must mean this. Do you ever notice that people do that? They'll actually say, oh, you're a personal trainer, you must do that. Oh, you know, you're a financial planner, oh, you must do that. You're an audiologist, oh, you must do that. And they'll pigeonhole you, and what they pigeonhole you into may not be actually what you do. So what we need to do is go, okay, how do we make sure that our business is actually being positioned in the marketplace the way we need it to be positioned in the marketplace, so that people in the market are actually holding the perception that we need them to hold in order to be able and willing and open to having that first conversation. So that's business positioning in the market, and this is personal positioning for referral. There's two different types of positioning. In the next few videos, I'm going to break that down even further. I'm going to go through the two key questions in order to create the tools that's needed in order to make that personal positioning happen. I'm also going to go through the 5 market positioning types that you can start to implement into your strategy, your business strategy, so that we can start to really carve out why a whole market should come and talk to you and what space in the market you're actually occupying. So look out for those few videos coming up, and I'll speak with you soon.